Hello, I am Max from Test Drive Blogs, and today I'm bringing you, of course, another video of my Ranger. This is gonna be kind of like I think it's gonna be about 3 parts because I have kind of an update I want to do. I'm going to list all of everything that I've done to my truck ever since I got it, and I'm also gonna give like a 2-year owner's review or whatever, because I've had this truck for 2 years now, and I've just today driven 25,000 miles in it. Because I'm at 168,177 miles. So, and I apologize for not uploading recently, but like I said, I'll update you guys in this video of why I haven't been uploading that much. So I think first off, we'll go ahead with the update. So my upload schedule has been really random recently, even though it's never really been good, I guess. I've basically just been working a lot, just every day, 40 hours a week. And that means, I think I said this in the last update video I made, but that means that I'm working at a car dealership at car dealership hours, so I don't have time to go out and necessarily go to other car dealerships, which is what I mostly do, to actually get videos. So I've been doing it mostly on Saturdays, but recently all of my Saturdays have been taken up by just random stuff. Like last weekend I went to the state fair. The week before that I had something to do, and it's just been a lot of stuff I've needed to do on the weekend instead of recording videos. But hopefully we'll be back to where we were soon. Other than that, the new camera is it's gonna be good for what I eventually want to use it for, but for like just kind of stuff like this, it's pretty much useless. Well, it's not really useless, but it's extremely hard to try and get a good video of handheld with it because it doesn't have very good stabilization. It has manual focus. It doesn't have the flip out screen like this one does. So that's why I've been trial and error using it, and it's kind of, I don't know. I'll make a future video where I explain like what the camera is and why I got it and all that, because I'm still kind of working on what I'm going to use it for. And other than that, I don't think we really have anything else to talk about, so let's go ahead and have a look at what all I've done to my truck in the past 2 years I've had it. I've done quite a few things to the truck ever since I got it. Really, as you can tell on the front here, I have a new front bumper, grill, as well as the lower valance down there, as well as the piece actually behind. Some of the lights are new, like I think this one's new. It got wrecked. Of course, I replaced my fender too. I just got new tires very recently. Firestone Destinations. Not really much else on the exterior I've actually done besides some touch-up paint. I've had this truck for just over 2 years now, and so far I can say I've enjoyed it. Of course, I have my stickers from Saab Califor, Mr. OHD, as well as regular car reviews in my rear window. The bed, I took out the bed liner that was in it. I might put it back in. I'm not really sure yet because I still have it. I just need to decide on what I want to do with it. You can really tell I tried to touch up the top of the tailgate. Didn't work out so well, sadly. I haven't really done anything to the back of the truck. Of course, if you'd like to see a full in-depth video of this truck, I actually uploaded one recently, probably about a month and a half. Plus it was actually clean then. As you can tell, it's not incredibly clean at the moment. Interior is almost exactly the same as when I got it. I think that this has gotten a little bit worse on the door panel here. I need some glue or something to stick this back on. I'm not really sure. And it's also filthy as well, as you could tell. But really all I've done with the interior, of course I put my new radio in, new head unit, which I uploaded a video on if you'd like to watch. Link will be in the description below. I put a new shift knob on because the old one sucked. And I have newer Ford logoed rubber floor mats, which are really, really nice. I really enjoy them. And of course, there's my radio. I have the Bluetooth speaker, Bluetooth microphone up here somewhere. There it is. I haven't used it yet at all, so that's fun. Seats are all the same. I actually replaced the lid of this thing, so it'll actually open and close, which is nice. Because it was wrapped, it had a bungee cord wrapped around it before, which was definitely not something that I wanted. Yeah, passenger side, it was all the same. I replaced some lights in between and behind the gauges, just because they burn out. And guess what? Another one burned out. The one on the far right. In the back, I haven't done anything either. like I said, besides those stickers. And of course, recently I have done some stuff to, not necessarily the engine, but when I first, or probably about 6 months ago, I replaced the spark plug wires as well as the spark plugs. I need to actually get a new oil change very, very soon, because I just hit the mileage I just hit 3,000 miles. But the biggest things I've done in here, of course, is, as you can tell back here, I replaced the air conditioning condenser, as well as the radiator, which you can see right here. And so far they've been working well. Well, the radiator has, because the condenser didn't really help solve my problem of no AC. So we still need to figure that out. I think there's a leak just somewhere on a pipe somewhere, because it worked for about 3 days and it stopped working again after we charged it. So I'll have to figure that out. Yeah, other than that, there's not really much I've done to the engine. The battery's still the same one I got in it from October of 2012. So it's almost 4 years old now. Power steering winds, of course, because of course it does. And funny thing, I don't know if you don't know, these 4-cylinder 2.5 and 2.3 liter engines that came in these Ford Rangers actually have 8 spark plugs, as you can tell here and here. It kind of confused me whenever I first looked at it, because like, holy crap, there's like 4 extra spark plug wires. Where do those go? But there's 4 spark plugs on this side of the engine and 4 spark plugs on this side of the engine. So that was pretty fun. That was a pain, actually. It wasn't fun to get those spark plugs out. But yeah, everything else is pretty much the same. As I mentioned, I replaced this piece as well as this piece that goes behind the headlights. Had to bend out the hook for the hood release because it was bent, because the whole entire front of the truck was bent in. Not sure why still, but yeah. And you can actually tell, like on this side there's this much space in the bumper, and on this side there's like half of that space. So this side is further out than that side. My rear bumper is the same way, but I don't think I really care. So now let's talk about what it has been like to daily drive a 1998 Ford Ranger 5-speed 4-cylinder extended cab step side for 2 years now, because it's been, I think I got it on August 11th, 2014. So it's been almost exactly 2 years, because I think today is the 17th of August. So 2 years later, 25,000 miles later, it's been nice, honestly. It's actually been extremely reliable, which is something I really like about it. Besides the spark plugs and the fuel pump going on me, which is something I forgot to tell in the things I've done to it. Other than those things, it's been really easy to maintain this truck. It's just been put fuel in it, put oil in it, and you're good to go. And like I said, the only major things that have happened to me in the 2 years I've had this truck is the fuel pump. Well, actually, the only thing is the fuel pump went out. And that was after I hit a bump, and it was some fuse anyways, which it was probably the fuel pump, because I hit a bump pretty hard, and as soon as the rear wheels hit the bump, the truck lost power. I think that the fuel pump actually just completely died at that time, but it blew a fuse at the same time underneath the engine, or underneath the hood. So there's some speculation between me and my dad of what actually went bad, but yeah, it wasn't actually a very hard fix. It was take the bed off, which is 6 bolts, and then we used a cherry picker for an engine to pull the entire bed up. So it was actually extremely easy to get the bed off, and as soon as you have the bed off, the fuel pump's like right there on top of the fuel tank. So it took us, once we got the bed off, it took us, I don't know, 40 minutes to put in the fuel pump, which isn't bad at all. That's the only major thing that's really happened. Tires went through pretty fast. Like I said, I've just driven at 25,000 miles. I just got new tires a couple days ago. Of course, I didn't know, I don't think I mentioned it, but they have the white letters sticking out, which I really like. I think I just learning to drive on a stick shift. Plus, I think that's why my clutch kind of feels iffy. It's not that bad now. It's still like good clutch. It still holds. It doesn't slip at all. But it's definitely got some more space before it actually starts to grab as much. But of course it still works, so I'm not going to complain about it yet. But yeah, learning on this truck was actually really easy, surprisingly. I think I said this in another one of my videos, but the clutch and the 5-speed manual transmission is like probably the easiest transmission to learn on, because it's extremely straightforward. Like you have all the way over and forward is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way over and back is reverse. So it's an extremely simple pattern. The clutch, as I said, it starts to grab as soon as you let off the clutch. Even now, it still does that. With new tires, it definitely helps. It actually has traction now. It's been, like I said, I can't go over this enough. Like, it's been extremely reliable. Besides the fact that the previous owner try to do some crafty stuff, I guess after he crashed it or something. Like that's what the whole, like the front end stuff that I did before I got hit, which if you don't know, I got hit on the front left side, which is why the bumper and the fender are new. About November of last year, I think. I still need to get that stuff painted too. Other than the stuff that the previous owner really tried to fix himself, which a lot of it wasn't really fixed. Yeah, there's been no problems I've had with this truck. The battery's never been dead on me. It didn't even go dead whenever the fuel pump went on. I tried to start it for who knows how long in between the fuel pump dying and getting it fixed. Like, the battery still is perfectly good, and it doesn't have any kind of draws on it or anything, because I've had it sit for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think it was actually a month whenever I first did my brakes, which I forgot to say also. My front brakes, it sat for I think a month, and after a month it fired right up. But yeah, on the downside, as I've mentioned in many videos, this is a very extremely basic Ford Ranger. Like, I don't have rear doors, I don't have cruise control, I don't have power windows, I don't have power mirrors, I didn't have the fancy radio that had a cassette and CD player. I just had a CD player. Everything's manual, of course. It's good for like a first vehicle, because then anything afterwards that I may get, well, I mean, besides the fact I feel like I downgraded from my LeBaron kind of with the whole interior stuff, because it had cruise control, it had nice seats, it had power everything, even heated mirrors, which was nice. But it didn't run, and well, it did run and drive, but it was kind of iffy. So we sold it, and that's when I got this a year after that, because it got sold in November of 2013, and it was definitely a big difference. I go in between liking the fact it doesn't have much of anything, and going towards I don't like it. I mean, cruise control would be helpful anyways. That's like the one thing that would really be helpful. Power windows I could really care less about. Power locks I could really care less about. Rear doors I could probably care less about, because I don't drive with that many people very often. It's usually like every not even once a month I have more than one other person in my truck. So it's not really that big of a deal. Like, the speakers are good, which is nice. Like, after installing that new radio, I was surprised at how good it actually sounded. It's been a nice 2 years. Especially driving stick shift every day. I thought I wouldn't be able to stand up to driving stick shift every day, like I'd be tired of it, but I'm still not. I will most likely, if I sell this thing, I don't know. I'm going in between, like, if I should buy something else with money I have, or if I could get rid of this and then have more money to buy whatever other thing that I have, which I could probably get more money out of this than the things I actually want, which is the funny part. I might get rid of it, I might not, and you guys will be the first to know probably. I want to keep this because it's so reliable. I know I've gone over this 3 times now, but it's so reliable that it makes me sad if I would ever have to get rid of it. Like, it may seem like, sometimes it didn't seem like it was reliable, like when I first got it, whenever the one spark plug wasn't all the way like screwed in to where it should have been, and it would get, I guess, an air leak or vacuum leak or something, and it would run like crap at like 1,000 to 2,000 RPMs. So we put in the new spark plugs, and that problem is completely gone. And that was like really the main thing that was making me like, oh man, this thing's a piece of crap, whatever. So, I don't know. For now, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna still daily drive it. I may do some more mods to it later, which may be another video. But yeah, overall, it's definitely a good way to spend $3,000, which is how much we bought this for. Which by now it's probably $4,000 with all the crap I've bought for it, with the body parts, the radio. Well, actually, it was probably about $1,000 we spent on extra crap, because the radiator and condenser were about $300 total. The radio was about $150 or $140. The body work was like $250. So it's somewhere around $1,000. Parts are cheap too. So that's really all I have to say right now. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will be back with more videos soon, because I'm going to record videos this weekend. I swear I will. Probably at my work, because I don't know, I haven't recorded videos in a long time. So stay tuned for that, and thank you all for watching, and I'm out of here. See ya!